Okay, hi all. I'm just going to have a quick look at the 2011 tabular statement and the November part of it, because it's something that we haven't seen before in any of the questions that we've done. So in order to do the November, I've just filled in a few little bits and pieces that we need. The bank, which I've put up in the assets, share capital and share premium down in the liabilities. And now we're just going to do November. So let's have a quick look at it. November, received 100,000 from the issue of the remaining shares. So you issued the remaining shares and you got 100,000 from it. Okay, so straight away, the easy one is you got 100,000, so your bank goes up by 100,000. So issued, or it's like you sold those shares to some outside investors and you got 100,000. So then the 100,000 is from the issue of the remaining shares. So what we need to do is work out how many remaining shares there were in November. So first of all, we look at how many shares you had at the start of the year. It's 440,000 ordinary shares, and we see we have it in here as well, 440,000. So let's just make a note of that here. 440,000 issued shares at the beginning of the year. Then also, just like in a lot of the questions, you bought another business, but instead of paying cash for the business, you gave the owners of the business shares in your business. So you issued another 180,000 shares in February. So it's 440 plus 180 is, what's that, 5620. So by the time November comes, you've actually issued 620,000 shares. Okay, so the next thing is, what are the remaining shares? Well, we have to look at the balance sheet here. You have 700,000 ordinary shares that you're authorized to issue, that you're allowed to issue, as it were. So if you've already at that stage issued 620 and you're allowed to issue 700,000, then that means you just have to subtract 700,000 minus 620. It means in November you only have 80,000 shares left to issue, okay, from your authorized share capital. So if you issue 80,000 more shares in November, well, always you put in the share capital part the nominal value of the shares. So the ordinary shares are €1 each. So 80,000 of them at €1 each is 80,000 euros. So your share capital goes up by 80,000 euros. And then if you got 100,000 for those shares, then the remaining 20,000 euros that you got is in the form of share premium. Okay, and then everything balances, plus 100,000 up top in your total, plus 100,000 down below in your total. So again, let's just look at it. First of all, you need to find out in November how many shares you have already issued, and sometimes that involves taking the ones issued at the start and adding more shares that you issued during the intervening months onto them. Then when you know exactly how many you've issued, you must subtract that from the total amount that you're allowed to issue, or, oh, whoops, the camera was up a bit. You must subtract that from the total amount that you're allowed to issue to find out how many shares you have left to issue, because it says in the November part that you issued the remaining shares. So when you find out how many you have remaining, then you just multiply that by the nominal value. In most questions, I mean, I've never seen in a question where it wasn't €1 each. So it's 80,000 times €1. But if it had happened to be €2 each, then it'd be 80,000 times €2. It'd be 160,000. But as I say, I've never seen a question which wasn't €1. So 80 times €1 is here. And whatever the difference between what this figure comes to be and the amount of money you received, that goes into the share premium part.